Sometimes in business, you don't get the results you want to get. You're putting in the effort, you're putting in the energy, but things aren't happening. What do you do? How do you remain positive? How do you stay enthusiastic even if the results aren't coming? Should you stay enthusiastic? Should you remain positive? Or should you decide that the market just doesn't want what you're offering? Welcome to the Rebel Entrepreneur. And this episode is about how to respond if it doesn't quite go to plan. The extraordinary belongs to those that create it. Rebelling against business plans and debt, rebelling against what society expects of us to build cool businesses, make money, have fun, and do good. Let's create something extraordinary together. Welcome to the Rebel Entrepreneur. So welcome back to the Rebel Coaching Series, and this is episode 11 with Adam from Craftbox Club. Adam, welcome back to the show.
Hello, I'm back again. It's really good to be here, Alan. As you know, I'm a fan of the show, so I have been listening since we spoke last. And you've got some cool people on here, so it's nice to be part of it.
Which episode have you just listened to?
The $1 million glamping thing. I love a bit of glamping, so
with Will
I was loving that.
Convery and Jessica, and
That's the one.
yeah, it's quite interesting when you look at how do you set up a business like that with no debt. How do you avoid going into debt? How do you launch it? Yeah, it's fascinating. But we are here to talk about your business, and people have been on quite a journey with Craftbox Club from that very first episode we did together with Jennifer Vessels way back at the beginning of season 2. Feels like another lifetime away. And you've been on a journey with this whole business, and your homework from last time was to send you off visualizing a more positive future for Craftbox Club, because pessimist Adam turned up last week, and there was a little bit of a battle between pessimist Adam and optimist Adam. How did the visualization go? Did you do the homework? How did it happen? What happened?
So pessimist Adam is sitting in the corner over there. I can see him lurking in the shadows as we
Ready to
speak.
come out if needed.
Absolutely ready there. So how did it go? I was hugely optimistic about this bit of homework, and quite looking forward to it because I'm hugely into the mindfulness and meditation kind of stuff, and I thought this would fit quite nicely within that, and it would be really easy.
Uh-oh.
It wasn't so easy. Wasn't so easy. So the first week that I went off to do this, I was on holiday, which was really busy. So I thought I would do it before I went to sleep. At the end of the day, when everything calms down. So I went off and sort of sat on the edge of the bed and tried to do it, and I had a complete mental block. I'd sit there, close my eyes, and think positive thoughts, and my brain just went no.
No.
Quite a strong feeling as to just immediate feeling that no, don't be silly. Uh, it you can't think about this in a positive way. You're kidding yourself, sort of thing. So that was
Interesting.
interesting. Yes, interesting. So that's quite strange. Um, I then got back from holiday and had a little bit more space to be able to spend a bit longer on doing it, and I went back to doing like a full meditation sort of thing. So I kind of calmed myself down before doing it, and gave myself kind of 5 minutes to relax before starting the visualization. And that went a whole lot better. I could get into it a little bit more, and I think that you were saying last time to use the kind of five senses to go through that and to make it quite real. So I really tried to focus on each of those in turn. And yeah, that was quite fun.
Excellent. So you found a more fun version, but to start with, it sounds like it was quite tough. Uh, so where are you mentally with your business now? Are you are you seeing positive forwards motion? Are the numbers helping you to think one way, but you're trying to stay positive? Where are you mentally, Adam?
So it's a really strange one. So I'm continuing to get really good feedback, and that's customers saying it's great. People giving me reviews without even asking. A lot of people saying, "Oh, I'm definitely gonna either subscribe again soon, or I'm gonna buy this for a friend or something." Um, and yeah, we're going to talk about PR separately, aren't we? So I'm getting some nice feedback from that, but we can talk about that separately. So generally, the all of the feedback I'm getting is positive, apart from sales. Uh, and it's I guess it's not just friends and family saying it's good. It's the it's customers and people who know about the industry and that sort of thing that they're giving me positive feedback. But as I think you say, the only real feedback is the sales. And yeah, that's they're not really coming through. And the new subscribers has really dropped this year compared to last year. So on the one hand, it's nice to feel positive about all the good stuff people are saying, but it's just not translating into sales. So that obviously doesn't feel super great.
No, I can understand why, because then you start to go, where are the sales coming in, which creates more doubt, which then it's difficult to stay positive with that doubt in the background. Um, Now, as we record this, it's the 6th of September 2021. So we've just had the month of August, which traditionally in the UK, everyone is on holiday, everyone's outside because it's like the 1 month of nice weather in England. Um, so you wouldn't expect huge sales of craft boxes at that period. We wouldn't expect good sales in August, but staying positive through it and working towards the upswing towards Christmas. I mean, where are you? Are you thinking this is like drastically lower? Should I quit and give up? Or are you thinking this is just low because of the summer? Because I feel like the last three episodes, we've had the same discussion of is this just because we've come out of lockdown? Is this just because it's sunny in England? Will things get better over Christmas?
Yeah, I think it's hard to know whether there are lower sales now because we've come out of lockdown and they will go up because it's normal. Normal is higher than now, or was last year higher than usual because of lockdown, and normal sales will be a lot lower than that. So, so it's impossible to know really because we've only got those 2 years of data, and yeah, this year's just been much lower than last year
So we don't have
over
enough
the
data
summer.
to
Anyway, over
say.
the summer.
Yeah, we just
So
don't have
April
enough
was
data
great.
to
Yeah,
say.
yeah,
April this year was great.
yeah. So it was way more than. So let me bring up the. I've sent you a graph.
I love a graph. I love a good graph. I wish everyone
I'm
could
having
see
a
this
look at the
graph.
graph. So
It's excellent.
yeah, so April was like 5 times more than last year, and then you go to May, June, July, and August, and it's like 10 to 20% uh, of last year. Maybe July was 50%. Um, yeah, so just the summer months in particular have been a fair bit lower than last year. And then build into that. I've been around for a year, got lots of reviews, worked on the website loads, made the product better, all those sorts of things. So, I think all things being equal, I would have expected things to grow this year rather than take a bit of a nosedive.
So what we've got at the moment is numbers are going down, but you've put a huge amount of effort into it and the whole business is running better, the product is
Mm.
better, but numbers keep going down. And that's what's creating this feeling of nervousness. You keep putting the energy in, you keep doing the work, but the sales aren't going up.
Yeah, that's it, and I'm still enjoying it, and it's good fun. I'm just thinking, you know, where, uh, is it, should we draw a line somewhere? Should I have a target or something? And I'm not thinking of completely bailing on all of this, but when's a good time to try something that's at least a little bit different, and have a bit of a rethink.
Well, I think we have a clear point, and I think the message to everyone here is there will be times in any business where things get tough, and it could be seasonal, it could be a change in the market, it could be anything. I remember particularly, Adam, I was working with Rebel Business School, and the government introduced a new law for housing authorities, housing associations in the UK, and they forced them to drop their rent by 1% a year for 3 years. Now, 1% rent drop doesn't sound like a lot, but some of the housing associations we were working with, that ended up being a £10 million hole in their budget.
Wow.
And they were our primary customers. So, what do you think the first thing was that they cancelled when they found that giant hole in their budget?
All of the good stuff.
Well, basically, what we were doing was
You guys.
cancelled. I think
Yeah.
we lost 5 clients overnight because the
Mm.
government announced a new law. Nothing to do with us, zero to do with us, but incredibly painful. And then you go, okay, what do we do? Do we go to a new market? How do we react? And over time, we changed the market and ended up working far more with councils. We still worked with housing associations, housing authorities, and it did bounce back. But that was a particularly painful time. And I guess for all of us, there are going to be times when we have dips in business and we're doing the hard work and we're making progress, but nothing is happening. Then comes the question, how long do you push through that dip before really drastically changing things? And for everyone listening to this, if you're in a dip with your business, is there something you can look forward to and go, I think we can get there? Is there something that you think if I do this, it'll increase sales? Or you get to the point where you go, okay, I'm not making money. I'm still having fun. I've been doing this for 2 years, but it's just not going anywhere. Then you have to start to make decisions. But at the moment, we're 3 months away from Christmas, which is the busiest time of year for this stuff. So I feel like if I were you, I would be going, okay, I'm going to give everything for these 3 to 4 months to get to Christmas and see what happens. And then come January, I'm going to sit down, look at my graphs, look at my numbers, review everything, and then go, am I going in the right direction or is it time to try something new?
Yeah, I think the review point's definitely after Christmas, because stopping now, before it's not necessarily for Craftbots Club, but for crafts. There's no doubt that Christmas is the time for crafts.
It is the time of year for crafts, so we need to take advantage of that. Um, the only other thing that we could start to do is start to brainstorm other ideas of products that you could offer alongside it in different ways, different things. But I feel like you've got products and it's proven to sell and you've got a good system. We just need to get through August and September to get to October, November, December for it to pick up again.
Yeah, that's what it feels like it should be. And yeah, like I say, people are liking this stuff when they get it. And there, there's a good chunk of people. So I've still got 120 or so subscribers who have been paying for this stuff and enjoying it for over a year now. So that feels to me like a significant number of people who have decided that it's good. And if, I feel like the problem is just reaching more people like that, and also not that many more. It's a success for me is only a few hundred more. So going from 150 to 500 doesn't sound completely insane.
It really doesn't. I feel
No.
like we're close.
Yeah, me
Um,
too.
I also think you're going to have a seasonal thing. So, our
Yeah.
experience of doing this business, you're going to have a seasonal thing, and you might have 1,000 subscribers over Christmas, and you might have 300 over the summer, but it balances out to your 500 over the year, and they come back for the winter months or whatever it is. That might well happen, and we just have to look at it slightly differently. But having 120 happy customers who are subscribing and paying you money for their product, people are liking this, Adam. People are liking this. So I feel like we need to triple the positivity, quadruple the positivity. We need to banish negative Adam outside until after Christmas when he can come in and look at the numbers. Uh, but for now, we need to quadruple our positivity and push forward as hard as we can.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, totally. I mean, I need to just put loads and loads of energy into the next couple of months and go for it. I keep meaning to say the whole way through this as well, just to strongly agree with your complete ethos. I'm so pleased that I haven't got a load of debt over the last month. You know, if I was running a craft shop or something like that, and I had to pay rent every month, and I saw the sales dipping like this, that's sleepless nights there, and that's absolutely terrifying. And you know, I might get a bit down about this every now and then, but I'm not. I'm not absolutely terrified about this going wrong. You know. Um, yeah, that's a tick in the box for the Allen method, the rebel way.
I love that. So there is a piece here that actually that's really interesting for all of us to do is if you ever get to this stage where you've had a dip in sales, things have gone wrong, which happens to all of us. It happened to my business many times. It's a little bit of worst case scenario planning. Like, what's the worst that could happen? So let's say from now, uh, for whatever reason, sales don't pick up over Christmas. We get to 200 subscribers, or we get maybe like nothing. What's the worst case scenario, Adam? Like no one buys for the next 3 months.
Yeah, I guess. I mean that's the worst. That's absolutely the worst case. It's not like a realistic worst case, I don't think, because I've still got those 100 people who have been around for ages. So it would be strange. Let's hope it would be strange if they all of a sudden disappeared.
I love this. So the worst case scenario I've picked is even too low for for Adam. He's like, that's not realistic. It doesn't have to be realistic. Like, what's the
Yeah.
absolute worst case by January? The worst case scenario is
Yeah, I mean, in a complicated sort of, I feel like the worst case might still be having like 50 subscribers and having to get the materials for like 30 to 50 subscribers, because then that becomes quite expensive, um, and then it's harder to run at a profit then, and by that point I might end up losing money. Um, not not absolutely tons, but that's the worst case, that I get to a handful of subscribers, and then it gets more expensive.
so the worst case scenario is we get to a handful of subscribers and we're projecting next month we're down to 50 subscribers and we just can't make the numbers work. What would you have to do?
Um, well, I'd have to look at the best way to order stuff to be able to I'd fulfill those subscriptions, or worst case is to cancel and refund.
So the worst case is we have to cancel and refund and close it down. Where does that leave you?
Um, so that then I've got a fair bit of stock of old kits that those people have already had. So I could sell those on the website over a long time, for the same sort of prices as at the moment, or just sell the stock as it is.
Or do a fire sale and
Yeah,
move on with the packages. So, kind of the worst case scenario is that you have to shut it,
Yeah.
but you don't have any debt.
No.
You would have put some time in and learnt some lessons, but worst case scenario is we have to finish. That's as bad as it gets.
Yeah.
Like it's not ideal, is it?
No.
But if
It would
that's
be
the
sad.
worst, it would be
Yeah.
sad. Like we would be sad. I would come and have tea with you and we could cry for an afternoon. And it would be sad, don't get me wrong. But like how the question I'm going to ask is like if it did end, how would your life be affected?
um, I'd have some more free time to do another thing.
That
Yeah,
doesn't
pretty
sound too
much.
bad.
Yeah, apart from being sad, and I would be sad.
hmm It and I think this is the interesting bit is if you start a business this way, the worst case scenario is it doesn't work and we're sad. And that does happen. I have regularly been sad when my business ideas don't work. That does happen, but that's the worst case scenario. What's the best case scenario? That from here we get the PR work that you're doing works, everything falls into place. You have a huge number of sales over Christmas. What's the best case scenario, Adam?
Yeah, I get loads more subscribers. I spread crafting joy around the world. I grow some more trees, have some fun, and in a few years, I do this all the time,
And you
and that
make
would
a
be
decent
awesome.
amount of money and
Yeah.
it's going really well. Like the best case scenario is actually not that far off either. It's actually quite plausible that that might well happen. And somewhere in between is what is actually going to happen right now. And I think what I'm trying to say to you is we've got 3 months till Christmas that if we can stay positive, if we can put our energy into it and fly through it, if it goes well, you will look back on this summer and go, what was I worried about? Of course, people weren't buying after lockdown. Of course, it was summer. Everything was fine in the winter again, and my business is back up and running, and we found a bit more balance after the pandemic. Uh, that'll be what happens when you look back at this. That's probably the likely outcome. And it's interesting when you start to cast forwards and look back on what you're doing right now. So, what I would love you, no matter if you're listening to this, no matter what situation your business in, whether it's flying with success, whether it's struggling in the doldrums, I would like you to project forward a year. Like in your mind, do this now, Adam. Project forward a year. Okay, it's a year from now, which is like, summer next year, summer 2022. And you're looking back at this Adam who's struggling through the summer with sales. What would you be saying to him? What would you look back and go? What would you say to this Adam?
I think this is what I was thinking about when I was doing the visualization. It was just like, you know, be positive. Why didn't you order enough stuff? I'm really stressed out now because you didn't order enough stuff. uh, you know, yeah, just throw yourself into it, and of course it's going to be fine. Like, yeah, it's the summer. People aren't doing so much crafting, especially buying crafts as gifts, which is a big thing. Um, yeah, so just keep going.
Keep going, keep going, and there will always be times in any business where you have moments of doubt, and you go, "Should I really be doing this? What's going on?" And then it is worth paying attention to those feelings and thinking about them and working out whether they're grounded in reality of okay, this really isn't working, or whether it's just a dip across the summer, or just this, or just that, and then going positively forwards. But I think in general, in life, positive forward motion fixes all. if you're not positively moving forward, if you're not pressing on, if we sit here and go, oh God, sales are down and I'm sat in the doldrums, and then we get all sad and we don't press forwards, well, that becomes a self fulfilling prophecy. And you start to act as though it's not going to work, which inspires it to not work. And you stop doing the sales stop coming in. And it's like a spiral that spirals down, and it becomes a self fulfilling prophecy. But if we can jolt ourselves out of that and focus positively, take action, and keep moving forwards, it's amazing how that keeps you going and starts the new seeds coming up. And I think what we've got at the moment is over the summer, you've been planting seeds. You've been doing the PR, you've been working on the website, you've been planting all of these seeds to grow your business, but none of them are sprouting. And you're here going, come on. Why have none of these sprouted? Come on, come on, come on. And I think if I got the sense that you weren't doing the work, Adam, if I got the sense that you weren't like messaging people, marketing, contacting people, I would be saying something different. But I get the sense you're positively doing stuff. And there's the question for you. Should I be getting that sense? Are you positively doing stuff? How many people have you been contacting? How many messages have you been putting out there? Are you positively pushing your business out into the world still?
I feel like I am, yeah. And I would say, even though I've been feeling about down about the sales, I'm probably the most proud of what the business is now. And back this time last year, I don't think I would have thought it was a good idea to contact craft magazines, because I wasn't proud enough of it, and now I can go to them quite positive about what I think they're going to feel about Craft Box Club. And yeah, it's been really nice to go to the craft magazines and them go, hey, this is fantastic. And those these are people who have been living crafts for their careers, and I've just done it last year. So I feel really good about that. And yeah, it's good. I can tell you what I've actually done, if you like, rather than just
I would
waffling
love to hear that.
waffling
Tell me
about
what
it.
you've done since we've last spoken. Fill me with fill me with energy for what you've done in the last 2 weeks and how you've pushed your business out into the world. And for everyone listening to this, this is the bit. Even if you feel down, even if things aren't going well, you've still got to push yourself out there, which is actually the hardest time to do it because you don't have the energy to do it, but you've still got to do it. So, yes, Adam, tell me what you've been up to.
So I've been trying to get hold of the sort of the big national press. Yeah, the national press. Uh,
Trying?
so I've joined this Facebook group, which is for entrepreneurs and the press. So I introduced myself, and I've done a few pitches in there. Um, so and I've also used those pitches to put into blog posts as well, which has been quite nice to kind of reuse that content. So I've done things like we talked about trying to get Tom Daly, who's kind of come out as a knitter, to join Craftbox Club. So I've been firing off things on Twitter about that, and I put that as a story out. So it was about men who make, because most of the people in this space are women, and it's quite
Mm.
rare to see a guy doing this sort of thing. So it's me and Tom, uh, best mates. So yeah, I reached out on Twitter, and I put a pitch into this group. I've done one about having a handmade Christmas to make the planet better. So you start making your handmade gifts now, because people, if you started in December, then you'd never have time to make enough handmade gifts for everybody. So I pitched that one. So they're all getting a nice reception in that group, but no one's picking up yet. And I just feel like with that group, you've got to kind of chime with something that's going on. at the precise time. So, be the perfect person for the story. But
Yes.
before that, you've just got to keep putting your hand up and going, "I'm here, by the way. I'm here." And just making everyone aware that you're around. And if somebody goes, "Hey, there was like a craft guy in this group somewhere,"
Yep.
now is the perfect time for a story on that. Then people will know. So I'm making sure that I do pitches quite regularly, and come up with it's coming up with a little story. um, I'm also going through, so nothing's come of that yet, apart from some warm reception. But I think that's a really long game, and it's one of those things because it's national press and it's TV and things like that. When that does get picked up, then that'll be quite a big thing.
Yes.
Um, there's also this hashtag journal request thing, so I make sure I check that every day, and I've replied to a couple of things. And there was one post that I replied to a few months ago that's now been published in an actual real life magazine, um,
Yay.
which is nice. Which apparently is available in normal newsagents, so it's not super niche. So yeah, so that's nice. So I've got a little copy of that. So yeah, I'm in. It's like an eco-friendly home and lifestyle magazine. So it's
Cool.
nice to have been picked up with that. But that's that was something I did months ago, and now that's been published. So it seems a bit of a long game. Um, so yeah, that I'm still keeping on top of and making sure I reply to people there. But it's kind of just a waiting game, on that side. I've been approaching craft magazines directly on social media and their email addresses. Um, that's been going quite well. I've at least been getting responses from people,
That's
and
good.
people seem to be quite happy to try and help me for free, because some people have got back and just gone, "Oh, our advertising package is 3 to 5 grand depending on your." And then after that, I follow that up by being friendly, and going, "Ah, my God, no way." Um, but maybe something will come of that eventually, and I'll keep reminding them that I'm there. But yeah, a couple of people have wanted to help me out. So in a couple of days, I'm going to be in Craft's Beautiful magazine,
Ooh.
um, which is cool. Which is like a proper Fleet Street magazine, and so I'm going to be on their social media, and I'm going to be in the print version of the magazine. And we're running a competition. So on the Instagram thing, people have to follow both of us to enter that competition. So I should get some more followers from that, hopefully.
Cool.
Um, and then yeah, people can. That was the quite a good way into the magazines, was to say I can be a prize in a competition. So I'm sort of paying for it with stock that I have already, rather than with money, and that works for everybody really. And I'm then the person who wins the prize gets 3 months for free, and they might subscribe again, if they like it. So that works really well. I really like that. So yeah, that's coming out next week. So we'll see what happens with that. And then there's a quite a big craft magazine called Gathered, and they couldn't help me out for a couple of the options that I was talking about. Um, and they really wanted to do something, which was quite nice. So they're doing a subscription box review in, like they're planning to do it right now. So I'm going to send
Cool.
them a box, and they're going to include me in the review, because they were so
That's
positive about what I was
fantastic.
doing. Yeah, so that's cool.
I
So
love that. And then,
stuff's going on.
yeah, you're doing things. Have you got gathered on the phone? Have you spoken to them, or has this all been email?
No, it's all been email and little chats on social media. It's been quite nice. I've sent them pictures of my birthday and stuff like that. it's, I've made friends, definitely. I would have
I
got them
love
on the
that.
phone, I think, if they weren't so helpful. But they've actually kind of opened the door pretty quickly. I tried to get in touch, so I've ended up at the editor, and I tried to get to the editor before using various different channels, because I couldn't find their email address.
Mm,
Um, I could find them on Twitter and that sort of thing, and I couldn't get through on Twitter. So I've found a bit of a roundabout route, but I managed to finally get to the editor who I'm talking to now about this review.
I love
Um,
that.
and that's really good to be with them because they their subscription box review that I'm in at the moment ranks number one on Google and has for the whole year, and that's where I get a lot of my customers through that one. So to have be on there again is going to be good for the my Google ranking, going to be good for people finding me. So yeah, they were like the top magazine that I wanted to be in.
I love that. I love that. One thing I would recommend is thank yous. One of the things that people do not do enough of is saying thank you. So you've mentioned three different magazines that are featuring you. Can you craft them a thank you card? Can you like send like just I want to send you a thank you card. What address do I send it to you? And like send them a thank you. Like it's unbelievable how powerful that is saying thank you to people, because most people will get the PR article and then the journalist will never hear from them again.
Hmm.
Uh, is that something you had in mind to do? Is that something you've done before?
So the first article I got featured in last year was the Daily Mail, and we talked about going back and saying thank you to that person. But that was I did that, but I think it's too late because I can't get through now, and all the emails bounce. And I think if people are freelance, then they move on.
You
Um,
surely can find them on LinkedIn. You can find them somewhere. Like
yeah,
Google their name.
Yeah, I just have I had a bit of a go, but I'll have another try. But yeah, with these guys, that one was um, that all happened quite quickly, and there wasn't a lot of toing and froing. I think with these people now, there's much more interaction, so it'd be super easy to do that. But I'll make sure that I love the idea of, especially as it's crafty, doing something that's actually tangible and then getting it in the post. I think that's really cool. Um, and yeah, it's what you do for a mate, isn't it? So um, you know, it's nice to be able to do this and make friends at the same time.
I love that. So if you're listening to this, your homework is think of three people that have helped you recently and send them a thank you note. Don't just do it by text message. That's just not going to have the impact we're looking for. Uh, I don't know, maybe create them a thank you PowerPoint, a thank you card, a thank you note. Who knows what it is, but actually say thank you properly because we don't get anywhere without the people around us helping. So saying thank you has a big, big impact. So from here, Adam, we need to stay positive. We need to focus forward and we need to take daily action on sales. What's the best way for that to happen for you?
So I think the things that seem to be working are getting the PR and um, also, I don't know about sales, but it's good for at the moment. It seems to be really good for interaction, which is maybe what I need before I build to sales soon. I've been putting more of the tutorials on Facebook groups, like craft Facebook groups,
Love it.
um, and it's been quite hard to find the right ones because there's a lot of arts and crafts Facebook groups, and a lot of them are pretty random. Yeah, so I think I found some that are quite good. So I've been doing some of that. I've got the Christmas kit planned, and I've actually planned all of the kits until May. Now, it not not completely, but I know what I'm doing, so I know when I need to order things, so that if when things get really busy over Christmas, I'll just know I can just do the thing. So I'll have time to go out and take the action and speak to people. And what I was doing a lot last year, and that was getting a lot of results, was just talking to people on social media and actually just connecting with people on Instagram. And quite a lot of the time, people would buy from that. But that hasn't worked so much over the last few months, so I've kind of stopped doing that. But I quite like to do some more of that up over the next few months and just directly speak to people. So have this thing where, what is it, like a passive and I'm being active about the passive marketing, Like, getting the word out there, making sure I'm still up there on Google and I'm being mentioned all over the place, and then also directly trying to target people on the direct stuff. I don't. There's kind of offers for me to do markets and things like that, in the run up to Christmas, and I don't know whether to do the markets or focus that time and energy into the online sales. Um, that's a tricky one. The markets are really fun, but they take quite a bit of preparation time. And when I'm doing this like 2-3 days a week, that's like probably half of my week planning, getting ready for the market. Um, so at the moment, I've said no to the markets, so I can do more of the online stuff and just really focus on specifically this one thing.
Well, you can definitely reach out and find people on social media a lot quicker. Going to a market might work. The I mean, there's only one real way to know, Adam, and like we've spoken about many times. It's test and
Mm.
measure. We just don't know. One thing I would say is, do any of your competitors go to markets?
Um, some of them. So I guess the bigger they are, the less they go to markets.
Interesting. The bigger they are, so the more successful they are, the less they go to
Mm.
markets because they already have a subscriber base or they've already got their online
Yeah.
marketing going. Um,
So I'd
I
say
think
it was great to test the product for. So I did do quite a few markets last year. I didn't sell loads, but it was nice to get some direct feedback. But yeah, I just feel like it's less worth doing that this time.
and individually selling sounds like a lot of work. However, you only need 500 subscribers to hit your target. Like, that's not inconceivable that you can speak to 500 or 1,000 people over the next couple of months, over the next month even, and start those conversations, find those people. Maybe that's where we need to go back to spending some of our time. And I don't know if you've listened to the coaching series with Jamie the artist when she was doing her Kickstarter campaign. She was very reticent to reach out individually and send those messages. But that's where a huge number of her sales have come from while she did that in season two of the coaching series. Um, and if you're saying you actually enjoy it, she didn't even enjoy it. So we had to work really hard to find a way to enjoy it. If you're saying you actually enjoy doing that, and I know you send me messages on Facebook, we communicate that way, you seem to actually enjoy it. So there's no reason why you shouldn't engage all these different people and start suggesting ideas, talking to them, going on all of those sort of things. There's no reason why you shouldn't be doing that at all. And we need a split between the passive and active. And for those of you listening, passive marketing is where you do something and wait for customers to come to you. So that is search engine optimization, that is press. You know, you get in the press and then you wait at your desk going, are they going to show up? Are they coming? Are they coming? Are they coming? There's passive and then there's active. Active is I'm going to go find the customers. I'm going to message them individually. I'm going to write to them. I'm going to use my mailing list. I'm going to email them. I'm going to go to the market and like grab them, physically grab them and get them to look at my product. And we all need a mix of those two things. It's not binary. You don't do one or the other because both of them complement each other. So we do need that mix. And talking about mailing list, we've spoken quite a few times about your mailing list. Have you been working your list, baby?
I have. I've got a little. I'm not super happy with the system yet, but I've got a bit of a system where I'm kind of tracking who I'm contacting. It has been emails rather than calling people, um, but I this is one of these things where at the moment I probably email 100 people a month, and I get maybe one or two extra sales from that. But then like 30 really lovely messages. which is great, but frustrating at the same time, right? And so many people going, "I'm coming back, I promise," things like that, which is tricky. But yeah, so I've been going through and individually emailing people. Yeah,
But that sounds like that's real evidence that it is timing. That sounds like if you're sending 100 messages, you're getting two orders, but you're getting 30 positive messages saying, like, yeah, just give me time. I'm on holiday. Like, it's the summer,
Hmm.
Adam. I want to go outside. I've not been allowed outside. Um, if you're getting all these positive messages back, that's more evidence that it's a timing issue. But we do need to keep on top of that because it's very easy for someone to say, yes, I'll come back in the fall. Yes, I'll come back in the autumn. Yes, I'll come back when it's cold, and then to forget. So
Yeah.
it's really important to, as we get to September, October, November, the time is now. It's very important to keep that up. So I would be seeing those 30 lovely messages as a sign that it's timing. We just need to keep going with this.
Yeah, so when I'm getting those messages, I'm logging that in a messy spreadsheet, so I can kind of look up. So I've got a thing on my database that brings up a list of people who were subscribed and I haven't sent them anything, but because they've unsubscribed for a month or so, so I know
Yes.
how long that's been and I know what I'd said to them last time. So I can keep on top of doing that. But yeah, it's important not to lose sight of that, because those, even though that seems like quite a small action to target individual people, that's quite powerful to go directly to them, isn't it?
Especially if they've already bought. Like they already love you, they already know what you do. Like that's a warm lead, it's a great customer, and you've got a list of a huge number of people who bought from you already that could come back for this year. And lining up those emails ready for October, maybe it's mid October, you start going, have you got your Christmas presents sorted? Here's the
Yeah.
special, here's the bit. Are you ready? There's no reason why you can't start lining all that stuff up and getting ready to do it.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. And that's ready, and sort of reminding them that there's new kits coming out as well. And yeah, I'm just kind of positively talking about the fact that especially so. Yeah, what's changed recently is I had the professional photographs done, and that's really inspired me to up my game on the photography. So I think the kits now look much nicer. So I'm really, when I talk to people about this stuff, I'm going, "Have you seen this? It looks cool. Like, it looks really cool." Um, so yeah, so I think, yeah, although I have multiple personalities, I think I'm going out positive to the world.
I love that. I love that. And the final one I wanted to mention was the Facebook adverts. Are you planning on coming back to have another go at those in the fall?
um,
I've turned into an American saying fall, by the way.
in the
For those of you
fall,
in England, that means
fall
autumn.
season.
Yes.
I don't think so, at the moment. Um, so so advertising towards Christmas gets more expensive anyway,
Hmm.
and I just don't feel like I've cracked a way to do this yet. So at the moment, no, because I haven't got a recipe. But if I felt a bit stronger about the recipe, then I would love to. And I think it's a good time to spend the money because we know that people, we're not just talking about it, knowing that people like to craft at Christmas. It's like there's solid data on Google about about people looking up stuff. I did actually wonder about, uh, because so much of the business comes from Google, whether spending money on Google ads might be a better thing to experiment with. Um, so you've got a look in your eye.
What do you think I'm
So
going to say to that one?
should we go back to the lab?
Shall we go back to the lab, pull out the lab coat, and do another mini experiment, Adam?
Why not? Why not? I owe you a picture of me in a lab coat. Uh, I'll have to get it.
Definitely. Okay, so that's part of the list, and a lot of people on the show have talked about adverts, and we've done experiments on Facebook adverts, which we've not quite cracked yet. But we're going to test. So let's do that. Let's set up an episode, and we will do an episode for everyone listening on Google Ads, what we're doing, how it works, and working through that process. And we'll see what happens because there's only one way to know, which is to have a go with this stuff. There's only one way to know. So we will line that up. I think the message here for everyone listening, though, is it's about positive forward motion. And sometimes it's about acting in spite of not seeing the signs, because sometimes the signs don't come when you want them to. They come later, and you have to keep going positively. And Adam's gone through what he's done, we've gone through what he's going to be doing, and I think it's that positive daily action where you push yourself out there, you make the calls, you send the emails, you do the stuff, and we keep going. And then afterwards, we have a look to see what happens. But in the moment, especially knowing that you've got this point coming up that there's big sales, if you're in a retail business, Christmas is one of those points that they become a huge point of sales. And we just need to line ourselves up, keep positively doing the work, and keep going. Whew. Adam, so we'll do an advert, a Google AdWords episode. You're going to keep going with the groups. The individual connections on Instagram, Facebook are going to come back. You're going to keep doing the mailing stuff. We're going to keep doing the PR stuff. And we're going to keep pushing Craft Box Club out there. Is that correct?
That's right.
I love
Let's
that.
do it.
And the question for you, how can you triple your enthusiasm and energy for the next week whilst you do this?
Uh,
And it's probably
I don't
not
know.
strapping a car battery to your leg and then injecting yourself with electricity every now and again.
Yeah. I, I, yeah, no sort of banned substances. Uh, I don't. The answer that popped into my head is, and I've been trying to do this is just remind myself that it's meant to be fun and make sure that I'm having fun. So I've been just really throwing myself into all the bits that I really love about doing this. And then hopefully that positivity will come through when I do the stuff that I enjoy the marketing, but I don't feel like I'm quite as good at it. So yeah, that the fun thing is yeah, is that the right answer? Have more fun.
Put the music on, jump around the house, get the energy going, drink a coffee in the morning. Maybe that's the strongest banned substance, and put some energy into it because sales is the passing of enthusiasm from one person to the other. And if we can help you feel enthusiastic and infect those people around you with enthusiasm for crafts, which we know you have, I felt it. I know you have that enthusiasm. We just need to get the rest of the world to be infected with your enthusiasm as well, Adam.
Yeah, crafts are great.
Yes, maybe double
Yeah,
that.
it's true. All right, crafts are great. I'll work on it. Your American audience won't know what I'm talking about either because I've got to say crafts. Is
Crafts.
right?
Um,
Crafts. Even the Northerners in England don't know what I'm talking about.
well, yeah, the Southerners would say
Crafts,
craft.
crafts,
Yeah.
crafts. Yeah.
It's when you're saying castle or castle.
Castle, crafts.
Anyway,
Anyway,
let's
sorry.
close the episode with a closing message. The closing message is sales is the transfer of enthusiasm from one person to another. So this week, as you go forwards and push out positively and relentlessly into the world, I want you to double your enthusiasm, triple your energy. Take the energy that I have and take it out into the world and infect other people with enthusiasm for your business. Because if you can do that and have fun, it is incredible how far you will get and how much you will enjoy it. So go out there and infect the rest of the world with enthusiasm. Good luck. Go make it happen. Have fun. Make sales. Make money. Do good. And be a little bit rebellious. You can have any life you want to. Choose to build something cool. Choose to take action. Choose to work to make your dreams become reality. Stand out. Be different. Be yourself. Be a rebel entrepreneur.